This is the Community Board One Licensing and Permits Committee meeting. And I will be chairing the meeting with Mark Amoruso, and we will begin now. Um, we have a special presentation uh, for at the end of the meeting. So I believe that some people from Quality of Life have been invited to attend because it's a big project, and wanted to get some feedback. Well, we wanted to begin to hear what's coming down the pike. We have it doesn't look like a lot. We're not going to start with Pier 15. I think we want to do 30 Broad, and then 253 Church, because they have all the documents, and it's a straight through application, which doesn't have a lot of issues as far as and I hope people have had a chance to look at it. 30 Broad is the Serafina Express. It's a class change. I believe they want to start serving some other kinds of beverages. Their hours look okay, but their hours look okay from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I don't know if the committee wants us to consider asking them to close at 10 o'clock on Sunday. They have one bathroom, which if the applicant is here, if they can sort of explain in terms of what their layout is and what's going on with them, and what's the class change. Okay, so is there somebody here from 30 Broad? I believe she said she was here. Is there?
Well, let's come back to it later then.
But she indicated that she was here. Okay.
Oh, I see Mariama.
What about so there's no applicant from 30 Broad. The applicant from 30 Broad is not here. She posted something up. I thought I saw her. If you are here, would you identify yourself, or have you already? Because it's out of sequence and to go back and forth. Who is Kevin? Are you with? Is Kevin? Is that? Oh, okay, Kevin. Okay, Kevin. He's Kevin Del Casal. He's from 30 Broad?
Hello, good evening. No, I apologize. I was muted. I was trying to alert to get unmuted. Good evening, everyone. So,
good evening.
Can I start?
You're from 30 Broad, right?
Yes.
Serafina?
Yes,
Yeah,
Serafina
okay. Yes,
Express.
please,
Okay.
welcome.
Hello. So, we are part of the Serafina Restaurant Groups. We have been in business since 1995, and we have been operating Serafina restaurants throughout New York City and around the world. We just started a new brand called Serafina Express, and we currently have 3 locations open, one being at 30 Broad. We currently And there's 5 more in construction. We currently have a wine and beer license, and we feel that
Mm.
with the clientele there, we're trying to enhance our dinner service. So we would like to, in addition to wine and beer, also serve alcohol. We're not looking for anything as far as like people hanging out to drink. This is more of an accommodation to the guest. You know, we have a full menu of pizza and pasta and some you know of salmon and chicken items, and we just wanted to have the alcohol as an addition for their dining experience.
Okay. And I noticed on your diagram, you have 1 bathroom that's ADA accessible.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, any questions for the committee? What about the hours?
You had mentioned
Can you
that
slow scroll? Sorry, I can't go that fast. My eyeballs don't.
I don't know how much activity is in that area if it really makes that much of an issue regarding the Sunday changing the app, just changing on Sunday to 10 p.m.
It's
Does
11
anybody have
now,
anything?
right?
It's 11 now. Or
Yeah.
everything is straight 11 every night.
No, if now if you scroll back up, Friday and Saturday, we were asking for 11 p.m. close, but Sunday through Thursday is 10 p.m. close.
Okay,
But that's not what this says. So okay, so it's changed. So it's not this what it's showing here. Okay.
okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, also on the I'm not sure what paper you might have. Also on the community board packet, we had put that as well.
Yes, Francis, on the petition of support, they do have 11 to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday.
I thought I saw that as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of the resolution, we'll note that the applicant has agreed, has agreed to times. Okay. Any questions? Any questions
Yeah, I
from
have
the
a question.
committee?
I just wanted to confirm, based on the note that's underneath the hours that says all patrons will be cleared, that 10 and 11 is when they're going to literally close. So the last dinner service will be an hour prior each.
Yes,
On each-
yes, that
each
is
time?
correct. It isn't that we would have people staying to drink or to consume any food or beverage. That
Just wanted
once
to make
those
sure,
closing
confirm.
hours, that's when we close the doors.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mariama. Anybody else? I can't see any
No.
hands raised. Any other questions? Comments? Is this where we take a vote?
Yeah, let's call the question.
I need a
Second.
second.
Second,
Okay, all those who are not in favor.
Francis, just pointing information, just for the future, so we don't get hung up on anything. Only the committee member, can call a question. Not a public member.
Oh, okay,
Just FYI, so we don't get hung up in some technicality down the road for anything.
And I'll help Mark out here. You have full quorum, but I am also still counted. So I'll support Karen's call for the question.
okay, I'm seconding again.
Okay. Yes.
Second.
Anybody have
Mhm.
any, and just to make it easier and clean, does anybody have any objections? Okay, so assume that everybody's okay with this, and good luck, and we look forward to you uh, having your new Express in the community of Ward 1. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, everyone.
Okay, so can we move to 253 Church?
As you do, I just need to remind everybody, not my rules, city rules. Cameras on for votes. You want your vote to count? Have your camera on. Cameras cannot be off for more than, can't be off the entire meeting where you turn it on to vote, turn it off, turn it on to vote to off. I think the guidance we got back from the borough president's office is if your camera's off for 20 minutes, you're considered absent. So.
Okay. So we're finished with Serafina, and we can move to 253 Church. Is there anybody here from 253 Church?
You've got hands up in the attendee section.
Yeah, but I don't know what. Kevin, you can take your Mr.
Nish should be able to tell you who's on the application and be able to.
That would be Phil. Just give me a moment. Go ahead, Phil. Phil, you're unmuted. You can go ahead.
Great. I just want to make sure my client is with me as well. Anissa Wahid, she should be raising her hand. So if we can unmute her, that'd be great.
Anissa, you can go ahead as well.
And could you both put your hands down?
Sure.
And Kevin, put your hand down. Well, Kevin's probably gone now.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Phil Dorn, attorney with Pazetsky and Bookman. With me, like I just mentioned, is Chef Anissa Wahid, one of the top female chefs in the country, who's been featured on several Food Network TV shows and even has a line of food products sold in Whole Foods and other grocery stores. Although we're sad that Morocco lost in the World Cup today, we're excited that Moroccan food will be brought to Tribeca. This will be Chef Anissa's 5th restaurant, all under the same name. The hours of operation are extremely reasonable, in my opinion, closing at 9 p.m. on weekdays and 10 p.m. on weekends. Just background recorded music only, no DJ, no live music, no dancing, anything like that, no TVs. This is simply going to be a quiet restaurant focused on tasty ethnic food. Chef Anissa has gained a lot of support from local residents, which is evidenced by the petition signatures that we submitted, and as well as the many conversations she's had with her soon-to-be neighbors in Tribeca. She's excited to get this project off the ground, and with that, I'll turn it over to the committee for any questions.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out that this space was previously a restaurant space. There was a Korean restaurant here. It's between the uniform store and Two Hands.
Okay. Any other questions, comments from the committee? After I looked at the application, it seemed fine to me. Anybody else have any questions, comments? Okay, I'm going to call the question. Everybody had a chance, hopefully, to read the material and look over what's here. No questions. I see no hands up. So I call the question.
Second.
No. Oh, okay. Can she do that, Mark?
Yeah, she can.
Okay.
Yep.
She's
Any,
considered fully viable in a committee, as they say.
I believe it has to be a full board member, but you can double check that. But you want to be careful on this in case there's some technicality or legal issue down the road like we've had before. I'm sure there won't be with this particular applicant, but other ones can use it against us if they wanted to for whatever reason, if they
It's-
didn't like the outcome. So just get someone to confirm it for us at some point. Thanks.
Any abstentions, recusals, negative votes, abstain? Okay, so I guess that's all positive and we can move ahead.
Absolutely. Onesh.
Okay.
Onesh, could you make sure that you pop into the chat the attendance sheet again so we can make sure we have everybody sign in who hasn't?
Sure, I will do that.
Okay.
All right, are we all set?
Okay, Phil.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
we're set. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You
I
too.
would like
Happy
to
holidays.
remind the committee members to put your cameras on when you're voting. There were a number of you who did not have your cameras on for that last week.
Okay. But with their cameras off, do we still have enough people to support the vote?
No, you're gonna have to call it again.
You have to call the vote again.
Okay, I call the question. Please, somebody call the question.
I'll call the question, and here's the way I'm going to roll. If your camera, we need to ensure everybody's cameras are on, period. End of statement. And I don't really want to have everybody do roll call. So let's just make sure it's on and you're in. Okay? Onej, it's up to you to manage to take a look because you can see yourself who's on.
Okay, we're good to go. You can go ahead.
So, are we good? Are we good?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, so we could, so this passes. Thank you, Phil. And moving on to the next one. 222 Broadway.
Would the applicant for 222 Broadway please put your, oh, I see you, Mitchell.
This is a new application.
You guys see me? I'm sorry.
We can hear you and believe
can
we
hear
should be
you.
able to see you.
I can't.
We can hear you, that's fine. You can go
You
ahead.
can't see?
Are you using two devices? Because there's an echo. You need to turn one off if you're using two devices.
No, just one device. That's it. And I don't know why you can't see me.
Okay.
You can't see me, huh?
We can hear you.
Yeah, that's weird.
We can hear you, Mitchell. That's fine. You can go ahead.
All right, that's fine. I'll describe my suit to you. But, we can move ahead. Thank you so much. Represents the Philly Tribeca Inc., which is a wine bar that's taking over a space that's been vacated by another wine bar. They're located at 222 West Broadway, otherwise known as 6 Barrack Street. It's a ground floor and basement. There is no outdoor space, don't have any DOT sidewalk cafe. Approximately 2,300 square feet. and they're applying for a tavern and bar license for a full on-premises liquor license. It's recorded music, we did check off live music, but that's frequent and, quiet acoustic jazz band, so to speak. No loud sound system or anything along those lines. There's no kitchen and exhaust. It's a prep area. And, none of the kitchen appliances. We'll have an exhaust, and I think that was the problem with the prior tenant. We're not going down that route. It's a new application. Roughly 54 seats, maximum capacity of 63. They're looking for 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday. They said there's no outdoor space, there's no rooftop dining, no TVs, no non-musical entertainment. Costs. And quite a nice establishment. It's the operating second establishment in the city. We have another wine bar, and there's no prior disciplinary history on that. The partners also own a lot of other establishments, not in New York, but plan on opening some establishments in New York. It's an extensive menu, both food, wines, and wine. CFO exists, and we reached out to about 60 or so residents. We had mailings. We did get one response, or I did, I guess, as well as the committee did, from a longtime resident. Who I guess thought that this was a new space and nothing existed prior to. But again, something existed beforehand. She actually does have some complaints, but it's one resident out of 75, and mainly about the waste and late night traffic, which this applicant is not going to have. At this point, I guess I'll open it up. And the applicant is also, the principal is on this call, it should be. Can you answer any other questions that you have?
Okay, any questions from the committee?
Yep,
Karen?
thanks. If I'm not mistaken, this is a residential building in which this space is located, is that right?
That is correct.
And I also believe this building is a co-op. Is that, I think, do you have any indication from the co-op board that they would approve this?
We've sent letters to every resident in that building. And I haven't received one complaint or one indication of negative interest.
But no
But obviously
positive
not,
interest.
because we sent letters to every resident.
Right, that's nice. Okay. But you didn't receive any positive responses to support?
We received one positive response and one negative out of the 70+ letters we sent.
Are you taking over a lease, or was this lease newly negotiated?
This lease was negotiated. The space, the tenant lease was terminated because the prior tenant violated the restrictions as far as cooking. And not allowed to have pursuant to the lease any cooking facilities that require a hood and exhaust, and we're not going to do that.
I see.
The new lease.
So, you signed a lease, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and the other party on the lease is the co-op corporation, or was it the prior tenant?
No, it's a new lease. It's from the co-op.
Okay. All right,
They own the retail space.
okay. I'm assuming if they didn't approve of it, they wouldn't have signed the lease.
Correct.
Any other questions? We did receive a concern from a community member. Is that person here? Don't see a name on this. Onej, do you know if this person is here?
No, I do not see their name in the attendee section.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once.
Can we go back to the hours, because they were rather
Yes,
late?
that's what I was gonna ask if we.
So it was Sunday, we were seeking Sunday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. and Saturday, I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay, since this is a new application, we tend not to give new applicants until 2 a.m. On the weekends for at least the first year. We ask them, and also Sunday we ask them to close at 10. And ask them to the weekends is Friday and Saturday at 12 or 1 for the first year.
I think we give them till 1 o'clock.
Okay, 1 o'clock on Friday and Saturday.
For the first year, I guess if that's the requirement, and to show that we're good neighbors and can run this properly, that's fine.
And what about our
Right.
Sunday?
Sunday, what about
10?
Sunday, 10 p.m.?
Move that to 11?
Only because it's a residential building and we already, and the complaint that we got was the oversaturation in the community. So it appears like there's already a number of establishments that are open late and, making a lot of noise.
I understand that, but because it's really not it's a new application, or you had a prior liquor license in that space.
Yes, but
It's not
you're a
like
new
that
operator.
We're not dealing with that. We're dealing with you as as the application before us.
I would respectfully request that we could have 11 on the Sunday.
Committee?
No, I think we should be consistent. We don't have a particular reason here to change it.
Anybody else?
I'm going to just pop in and say each operator is different. This isn't the same establishment. It's a new one. Each one serves different food, different ambiance, different clientele. So I'm down for being consistent, and it's not like we're not supportive. We're 100% supportive, and you just need to come back to us.
I understand.
Committee members, I'd just like to let you know that I do have a member from the condo as well as their representative in the attendees. I will be.
I'd like to hear them before I vote.
Yes, I will be unmuting them now.
Hello, please introduce yourself. Hello.
Keith and Robert, I just transferred you over to panelist. You may speak.
Great, thank you. Rob, I'll go first. So my name is Keith Steinwell. I'm on the board of 6 Varick, and would like to address the community board tonight in regard to the wine bar application before you. You know that the space is at 6 Varick. It's a combination co-op and condominium. So the first floor and some of the basement space is a commercial condo unit with space for 4 businesses. 3 are currently rented, and the 2nd through 10th floors are a combination of 28 residential co-ops and condos. So we have a lot of residents that are going to be above this wine bar. What we really want to do tonight is speak to the wine bar regarding the history we've had with the previous tenant and current owner in the proposed space. We feel the behavior over the past 9 years should have implications on this, on the approval process. And also, please note, we have not met with the owners. We do not know who they are. We have not discussed or have seen any plans with the commercial space owner, and we had the application was not shared with us. We don't have any preconceived prejudices against them. No, this is a brand new wine bar opening, and the only knowledge of this came through the letter which Mitchell mentioned, and the CB1 notice that was posted on the door. So we're not here tonight to block the application. We just want to make sure that certain conditions are met that haven't been in the past and have caused the building major problems. So I'm just going to give you a brief history of the Terra Wine Bar. Terra opened in 2014. In August of 2014, we began to receive extremely high water bills. After a couple of months of seeing these high bills, we began investigating the potential causes. Our plumber discovered a water-cooled refrigeration system installed by Terra, and their sub-meter was intentionally bypassed. We also discovered a full illegal kitchen was built out in the basement, which is only allowed as storage. The cooking equipment was also being fueled by tanks of propane. There was no fire suppression system in place. This is a major fire concern for a building made entirely of wood. The ventilation for the kitchen was achieved by puncturing the building foundation and a hole created into the New York City sewer. This created a massive impact into our building. The vaults under our sidewalk were also taken over, and they were built out as refrigeration spaces. Another space allowed only for storage in the basement was also built out as a party space, which is illegal. So what happened was these significant violations resulted in the building having to take legal action at significant cost to the building, and a settlement was reached in 2019, 5 years after we initially discovered the problems. In 2018, Terra was also cited by DOB for illegal use of the space as a kitchen, and DOB said the basement should only be used for storage, and if they want to make a change, it needs to be refiled. The DOB said at that point in 2018 to discontinue use. No citation was issued. We were litigating. So as part of the settlement, Terra agreed to remove the violations and use the space only in DOB-approved manner, and an alteration agreement was provided to the building for our architect review. Terra dragged their feet and hired and fired 2 architects and did nothing to rectify the problems stipulated as a key provision of the settlement. DOB plans were not filed. After the settlement was reached, Terra also continued to use the space in the basement as a party space. I personally filmed a holiday party taking place. After the settlement, we asked the owner, Deltoid, of the status of closing up the sewer hole. They responded, quote, "I will be in touch with her and try to get this done." The hole was still there in November of 2022 when Terra moved out. In 2021, Terra was served with a notice for an oath hearing. An oath hearing, for those of you who don't know, is an Office of Administrative Trials and Hearing. This was for building out their space, not to the plans filed with DOB. This is a fairly significant violation. In 2022, the building also got pulled into the same oath violation. Again, another considerable expense for the building. In summer 22, we were notified of Terra's lease not being renewed. Just a summary here, you can see we've had a major series of problems with the former tenant. Building is not asking for the license to be denied. Only the new tenant and current owner of the first floor space comply with all the codes, rules, regulations regarding the space, and any alterations. The existing conditions are still not compliant with code, as the departing tenant did not remedy. We also request the approval of the license be subject to the tenant and owner maintaining and any alterations to properly comply with DOB and supplying plans to the building for review. This is the same process as all the other unit owners. Operating hours also need to be agreed to, and also the live music that we just discovered this evening. Adequate COIs also need to be approved. Recently, there were two major renovations that took place, and we were told by the unit owner on the first floor, they didn't need to provide COIs as kitchen staff were handling, and another one was being done by family. These lack of COIs leaves the building at risk if there is an accident.
Okay. All right. Oh, thank you.
Whoa.
Although a lot of what you've covered is not under our purview, but it certainly can affect, our resolution and how we proceed with approving this request. We'll have any other people from the community or
I have a question, Francis, if I could ask.
sure.
For the gentleman that was just from the condo board, I'm just curious. The applicant had said that they had sent letters to every resident of the building. And I was just wondering if you can confirm that or not.
Yeah, he said that.
They did.
Okay,
We
then I just
received,
missed it.
He said that in the beginning that they
yeah, we
received
received
it.
letters.
Okay, thank you.
And what we wanted to do was use the community board meeting as a forum to discuss any concerns we had, rather than dealing directly with them. Since the application is before the community board, we thought this was the best forum.
Thank you.
Okay, buddy.
Francis, I have a
Are you-
question, Joel.
Joel? Okay.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes, please go.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's pretty bad. So I have a question. Who owns the space? Who is that gentleman paying his rent to? Who owns the space?
There's a group called Deltoid. They own the first floor commercial space. So what happens is they own the space. The space is part of the overall building of the condo unit.
So are they paying you rent?
No, they would pay, Deltoid pays their common charges every month and they collect rent directly from their tenants.
So you're not benefiting from this at all?
Not at all. We do not benefit at all from this, other than us getting our common charges in line with the common allocation of shares.
Right. You should buy them out and get them the hell out of there. That's what I would do. Okay. That was my question. I just wanted to know actually who owns the space. Was it a management company or a different partnership?
Okay.
So one thing we
I have a
just wanted to,
question.
one thing we just wanted to make
Francis.
sure of is that the new tenant understands the relationship their landlord has within the building that we're all in.
Okay. Mariama?
Yeah, I just want them to confirm, the condo board or the applicant or both, that the extra kitchen and whatnot isn't included in the square footage, the occupancy space here.
I can't, as a condo board member, I can't address this. I have not seen any paperwork nor the application.
Okay, so
we
the
asked for the
applicant's fine. Yeah,
we asked
that's
for the
fine.
application and never received it.
Okay. Can the applicant answer? Confirm on the record that this doesn't include any extra kitchen and whatnot, please.
Obviously, we're not gonna have a full kitchen, that's why we applied for a tap and bar license. We know the door system, we don't wanna use vaults. We wanna satisfy the rules and regulations that's required by our lease. And because the prior tenant is a bad apple, doesn't mean that, my client is, and we have no interest in doing that. As I told you, my client owns one premises already, and his partners own a multitude of places in Florida, and we follow the rules and regulations. So So that's,
No, I definitely agree that if one client was a bad apple, doesn't mean that you are. However, the challenge here is that it sounds like the landlord or your landlord specifically allows for bad apples. So that's why I'm trying to get to the specifics
to
of
be
this
honest with
application.
you, the landlord did not, and that's why the prior tenant's lease was terminated. And our lease requires us to follow all the rules and regulations, to not have a full kitchen, not have an exhaust system. We plan on complying. We don't
Okay.
violate.
So what we have before us is specifically for the square footage that was rented to you in your lease.
Correct. No vaults, no, no incognito refrigeration, nothing along those lines.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
okay. Well, any more questions from the committee?
Is there a valid C of O?
Isn't it attached?
Is there anybody else from the community here to speak to this?
Mark is asking if there's a certificate of occupancy in the application.
She's scrolling down to see if there is.
Yeah, I think it's 63.
There it is.
I would like to suggest to the committee, especially since we've gotten we've gotten a lot of extra information about the prior tenant and what the prior tenant and what the community that lives in the building is experiencing. I would like to recommend that we consider staying with okay, somebody said they're on the phone and they have their hand raised. Okay, I don't know who this. Oh, Nez, did you? Sorry.
You may unmute.
Hold on.
This is Robert Zanetti.
Okay, Robert.
Hello.
Hi. Could
I'm
you introduce
I'm the
yourself and
attorney.
let us know why you're calling? Hello?
I'm sorry, the phone is giving me instructions. The WebEx is giving me instructions over the phone. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry for any confusion. So I'm Robert Zanetti. I'm an attorney with Hanley and Zanetti PC, and we are the general counsel for the condominium and co-op at this property. So, yeah, thank you, Keith, for your description. What we really want to emphasize here, I have a couple clarifications, which I hope help the panelists, and then just a very brief statement. So I just want to be clear, our understanding, and it's only our understanding, we don't have any privity of contract with the tenants that may come and go through the unit owner Deltoid, but our understanding is that the tenant hasn't been terminated, they simply weren't renewed and extended. So the conduct of the prior tenant that you heard from board member Keith Steimel was able to persist throughout their entire lease term, and with a great deal of the problems that unfolded through the lawsuit, et cetera, and some communication between the condominium and Deltoid, it was eventually decided that Terra would not be renewed, and Deltoid, the landlord, made that decision. But I don't think it's correct to say that the tenant got terminated to indicate that the landlord, the commercial unit owner, acted in their or the condo's interest to get rid of a bad tenant. They were allowed to ride out their lease. I presume the landlord got paid as much rent as they were willing to accept if there weren't any adjustments and so forth, and that bad actor got the full benefit of their lease term without ever having to deal with the settlement agreement and the violations at the building. Now, our raising that is not to have that imputed to the current applicant. If they are approved and they come into the building, certainly we all look forward to their successful business operations, and we hope a very good and close relationship with the board members and residents of the building, you know, living in this common community, the need to run a business and the need for private residents to have their health, safety, wellness, and quiet enjoyment of their spaces. The emphasis Keith and I, on behalf of the board, want to make here is that the space being rented is still subject to a host of violations and illegal conditions. And our concern, because the commercial owner, our unit owner, is telling us as a building, we don't have to come to you for alteration review. We don't have to sign your alteration agreement. We don't need to submit a package. we're afraid we're going to see a tenant not address the prior conditions established and still remaining at the space, and we're not confident that our unit owner is going to remedy them. So somewhere in that new lease relationship, somebody has to have the responsibility for curing the violations and, more importantly, fixing the physical conditions at the building that have been at risk and the subject of several years of litigation and settlement. Whether that responsibility lies with the unit owner as a landlord or it's passed on to the tenant as a lease, I don't know that we as a building care. That's a private contract arrangement. But once this tenant comes in, both these parties are going to owe the building some set of duty to ensure the legality of that space. So to hear the applicant merely say that they will comply with law in how they choose to build out their space isn't sufficient if they're coming into a space that has a host of illegal conditions that still need to be rectified. And that's the concern the building has and really wants to emphasize with the board tonight. Not as a means to get you to reject the license and thus see this potential tenant go away, but to say that, look, if you're going to come in and run a similar type of operation as small food and wine and so forth, which we've had in this space before, then we really need, unfortunately, some burden falls on this new tenant, and we need our unit owner to have a set of conditions, we hope, imposed through the right authorities here, saying what exists in existing violations and physical conditions that architects on both sides can verify and confirm, they need to be rendered code compliant as an immediate part of this tenant's build out of the space before they start operations. Otherwise, just like the prior tenant, we sued them, we got a settlement agreement, and several more years went by and they never had to correct anything. And our building's left with the problems it's left with. And we can't withstand a new tenant and the existing unit owner continuing the practice because it may not be convenient or efficient or economical for them to invest in that now. So we have to seize upon this public setting and perhaps your authority, if it's within your domain, to say we want to see some reasonable conditions that would require the current players, the new tenant and the existing landlord, to have to make these repairs and remedies now. In the next few months as the lease might get started and they can prepare their space for operations. That's our primary concern here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we spent a lot of time on this already and we have some other stuff to get to, and we appreciate all the feedback that we've gotten. And I'd like to make if there aren't any more questions from the committee, I
have just one.
Okay, Karen.
Does the overall relationship between the residential portion of the building and the commercial portion of the building require that the commercial portion be in compliance with safety and health regs? Does the lease require them to be in compliance with safety and health regs and to clear violations?
Aaron, and
This is Robert
I'm asking because I'm not really sure that our abilities extend that far. We might be very sympathetic, but I don't know if they do.
Right, and I agree with you, Karen. I don't think that, and that was going to be my recommend.
Francis,
go ahead, Tammy. Go ahead.
Okay, so we had a very similar liquor license application, if you remember, in Battery Park City, where the condo came to us in distress, residential condo, because the commercial operator had pierced the foundation without getting their approvals and things like that. We noted every single one of the residential condo concerns for the existing condition and insisted that the existing condition ensure that the operator brings everything up to code that is required and that they comply with not, in this case, it would be not having an illegal kitchen. And we laid everything out in the resolution under whereases for the things that we heard. Because otherwise the SLA has no idea.
Right.
And I would suspect that I think that is the right approach for this as well. Because
that was going to be my suggestion.
Yeah, although it's a new operator, the space itself has issues, which the
Right.
residential building, you know, we're not saying that they are the bad operator. What we're saying
Right.
is that we support the building and the need for the structural integrity for the building as a whole.
Yeah, Tammy, you hit it right on the head. That was going to be my suggestion, and but you answered my question because I didn't know whether we had the ability to be able to indicate that kind of stuff in a resolution. So I was going to suggest to the committee that we stick with our 10 p.m. Sunday based on the fact that there were a lot of other unresolved issues between these two parties, and that we indicate some of those things. We indicate something in our resolution that they comply with the attached. Do we attach something that lists
Might as
all
well.
of those things?
Well, you can attach copies of the buildings department violations.
Okay. And take it from there. How does that?
I think that we ensure that we attach the violations and say until these have been fully cleared, we ask them to. That we just say that they have to be cleared before a liquor license is issued.
Well, and the co-op board should definitely get in touch with the SLA on their own and advise them that this establishment is putting forth a request for a liquor license, and what their concerns are. So the more information the SLA has, the better their chances are for the SLA to review this in a different kind of way. But I would like to move on with this and suggest that
Well,
the committee.
Ms. Curtis, could I just interject for 1 second?
Could you be
So,
brief? Okay. Yes.
There's no privity between my applicant and the building. The privity is between the retail condominium owner, my applicant's landlord, and the building. They have to follow, the condominium retail owner has to follow the rules of the building. So you can't put
But
the
they
onus
haven't.
on my applicant to satisfy, all these things that I heard tonight. Because there's no privity
Okay,
between my
but
client.
that's the issue, Mr. Segal, is that you two need to sit down and kind of work this out. We're just going to lay it out in terms of, the fact that these issues were brought to our concern, and we are operating within our guidelines in terms of what we're proposing in terms of the hours of operation and standard for what we approve. And we will take it, and we will take it from there.
But the prior tenant created some ridiculous wall underneath and refrigeration. I don't believe that's in the purview of the community.
No, it's not, and we won't be dealing with that. But we will be laying out this information for the SLA and whatever other department needs to take it, to take this into consideration, and they'll make their decision based on that. We've made our decision based on the information that we have before us and the purview and the limits of what we can do. We appreciate you coming and speaking
I
before
understand.
us.
I appreciate your time. I just don't want my client, who's a good apple, to be, demeaned and required to do something from a prior bad apple.
I'm sorry you look at it as being demeaning, but it is not. We're just following our,
what I'm saying.
I'd like to open it up to the committee so we can move on. Is there any other comments, questions, concerns that the committee has? Otherwise, I'd like to call the question.
Second.
Before you go ahead, I do have a question. What was the agreed upon time for the weekend?
Is 1 o'clock.
Okay.
For Friday and Saturday, and 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock on Sunday.
All right. Thank you so much.
Mhm. Okay, I'm sorry, I missed it. Call the question? Any other, how does it go?
Recusals, abstentions,
Recusals or abstentions,
negative
or
votes.
negatives, or anything else to add, delete? Okay. Onej, can we get a good, uh-oh, I'm hearing myself. I don't.
Joe, can you turn your camera on? Thank you.
So we can move to the next one.
We're good to go.
Which would be 109 Holy Water.
Is
Okay, and in their packet, the one thing that they were missing was the actual diagram of the
there's a diagram.
Okay. Well, that wasn't in the original. Oh, I can't really see it either. I want to know how many bathrooms and where are they?
Is the applicant on board to be able to just tell us easily?
Tracy, you can unmute.
Okay, yes, there are three bathrooms here, and you'll notice they're located on the left-hand side. On the diagram, it says EXGTR, which is something toilet room. So those are the three restrooms. The occupancy, I believe, for the space is 78. And, just as a reminder, this is a one that you guys had already approved earlier in the year, and you asked them to come back. Their understanding was to come back after at least 6 months of operation to ask for the extended hours. So they're asking for a method of operation change tonight. And essentially, they have two things that they were looking for. The first was to extend the hours to 2 a.m., 7 days a week. And then the second was, in their original plan, they did not have TVs. And we want to be clear, this is not a sports bar. However, is a rather high-end oyster bar. They do want to have the ability to add some screens or monitors that they use for some special events from time to time, but it's not meant to be playing TV and sports in the background, just as an audio-visual aid for special events. So they're asking not only for the hours, but the addition of these 3 screen monitors to be added into the bar. So I don't know if you guys have any particular questions. This is one of the oyster bars. There are many of them around Manhattan and Brooklyn. It's part of the Crew group of restaurants, and they have an excellent reputation. They haven't had any violations or problems at any of their locations. I know that when you're asking for something until 2 a.m., I'll reiterate this is in a basement location. There's no open doors, no open windows. We have no outdoor seating. We have no rooftop seating. And to my knowledge, there's been absolutely no issues in all of their time of operation so far. This is a rather laid back, quiet bar that, serves primarily oysters and small plates of shareable food over a drink.
So can I ask, if they're in the basement, is there any tenant on the first floor? And if so, does any of the sound come through? Or do you have soundproofing?
Actually, I believe Alex is here. If we can unmute him, I'll ask him that detail. I apologize. I'm taking this case over from somebody and I don't have the answer to
Don't worry about
that.
it. No, it's okay. No worries.
I believe that there's commercial on the first floor, but I would need him to confirm that. I believe there are residents upstairs, but I believe the first floor, is commercial and they're down, in the basement.
Okay. So we could get the hours of the commercial even, to ascertain
there.
whether there'd be a conflict with another tenant.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, thank
Hi,
you.
good evening. I'm Alex Pincus. I'm one of the owners of Holy Water.
Hi.
On the first floor, there is Bluestone Lane, which is a coffee shop, and it's open until 4 p.m.
Okay.
We also have a very positive business relationship with Bluestone. We operate jointly on another location.
Okay.
Separately, on the floor above them, there is a daycare that is open until I believe 3:30 or 4 p.m. as well.
Okay, so that would be the second floor.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Alex.
I
Are
would
you
also
aware of any sound vibrating through the building if you
There is
guys do anything?
not a sound issue in any way whatsoever. We've been operating here successfully for quite a long time and have been embraced by the neighborhood. We've also been operating in this neighborhood for many years, and I'm a neighborhood resident. Just last night, we hosted the PS 234 second grade class parents in our space, and everyone was very happy to be there. We're reaching out specifically to ask for these later hours due to the fact that there's a great demand in the neighborhood for people to be able to eat dinner later. As you know, during COVID, a lot of places stopped remaining open, and it's even difficult to get dinner after 9 o'clock at a lot of places. And if you sit down for dinner at 10:30 on a Sunday night, you're not going to have time to wrap up and get out of the venue in time with the 12 a.m. close. The previous tenant of this space had a 2 a.m. closure. Bar 135, which is just down the block from us, also has a 2 a.m. closure, which was just recently approved.
And
And
those were 7 days a week as well?
yes, ma'am.
What's the occupancy again?
I believe
I
it's
believe it's 78.
78.
So it's a large venue.
I mean, if anyone has been there, it's actually it's not a very large space, and there's
Well,
three.
it's a technical term.
Okay, there you go.
Anything 75 or above has
Sure.
additional restrictions.
Hey, buddy.
Which will
The
be
Department of
put in-
Buildings constitutes that any space with an occupancy above 75 is a large venue.
Yes, sir.
So we go by the Department of Buildings guidelines, and we have separate stipulations to which you would have to agree and adhere if you wanted to have that type of occupancy, or you could lower it to 73 years.
Okay, I'm just
And
curious.
you also
Did you have?
indicate that
Good.
you also indicate that you have you're going to have no more than 12 special events a year.
Yes. We only are requesting the television and the live music for a special event, like if there was a rehearsal dinner or something, or a corporate event or something like that, where there's a presentation. We're not intending on doing these things on a regular basis. Technically, the space is very small, and there's not any room to do any of this regularly.
Previously, did you have any live music?
No, we have not.
The square footage of the place in total is 2,000. The bar area is 188 square feet, and the dining area is only 690 square feet. They have 12 tables and 54 seats.
This is the first time you're coming to us, because you mentioned
No,
something about
they were here to you earlier, and you guys told them, please be open for 6 months or more, and then come back and ask us to extend the hours. After you've proven you can be a responsible operator. So they've been
Okay, so
operating
there's a
very
resolution?
successfully.
We've done a resolution already. Then we should have something on file.
Yes, you do.
The last time we spoke, they requested that we come back to request the later hours after 6 months of operation.
Right.
Yes.
Well, have there been any complaints lodged with the board? Is any, Onej, does anybody know?
No, we have not received anything while I was here.
Okay.
While I've been here.
See, buddy.
No, I would just want to look at getting a copy, attaching a copy of the old STIP resolution to put with this, if the committee feels it's okay to extend them the times that they're asking for. They're asking.
No, I'm a little hesitant, honestly, Francis, because there's two rather large changes, right?
Okay.
They're going from basically no live music, so that they haven't had this level of noise before, to having it, and simultaneously going to the extended hours. So it'll be extended hours with this loud music potentially. So I'm a little hesitant, at least on the weekdays.
On the weekday. Oh yeah, they want.
Just to chime in, we'd be happy to set aside the music component. That's really just, I thought I would include that as part of our not having to come back multiple times and spending everyone's time. But given the inflation, the current state of the economy, the fact that we're in a basement and we have a limited window of time in which we're able to generate revenue to pay our team, it's imperative for us to be able to open until 2 a.m. on a regular basis to remain in business, given the climate these days.
Understood, but to know that on Wednesday night at 2 a.m., people have to go to work the next day. So you have like 75 people leaving your place at 2 a.m. in the morning after having a good time.
Well, I just made a big cup of butter.
Just to chime in, it's very rare that we would ever have 75 people leaving our house leaving at 2 a.m. There might be 5 people or 10 people maximum who would be leaving at that time. There would be the people who came in later in the evening. Typically, we're slow to start. We become busier in the middle hours, and then there's a little bit left over towards the end of people who would like to remain longer. And we're just trying to make sure that we can accommodate everyone who wants to dine with us, and provide something that the neighborhood needs while being a viable business. And, we've been operating in this neighborhood successfully for many years. I live just up the street. We're very well known and regarded here. This is a high quality venue. Is named one of the best new cocktail establishments by New York Magazine for the last 6 months in a row. We've been running Grand Banks for 9 years here to great acclaim, and Island Oyster and Drift Inn, all in Hudson River Park. We've never had any issues with the neighborhood or the community. Sorry about that.
Francis?
Yes.
Joel, if he's going to set aside the music, I'm okay with the 2 a.m. with the fact that he's in the basement. A lot of what he's saying is true. You can't find anybody open after 9 o'clock. He's not outside. There's nobody above him. If he's going to set aside the music, I'm totally fine with the 2 a.m., especially since it's somebody down the street that is also at 2 a.m. I have no problem with this at all, as long as there's no live music.
7 days a week?
7 days a week.
Just to interject, sorry for interjecting, but I did pull up the last resolution from 2021.
Okay.
Right.
I could go with Joel and do that as well, but I just do want to be clear that if there's going to be an occupancy of 75 or more, Karen is right, it is large venue, so there's extra stipulation. So he'd have to agree to those, or we'd have to clarify right now that the occupancy is going to be reduced to something below that number.
Yeah, Alex, I would suggest you support that.
I am
down to 72, 73.
I am happy to, we're unable to change the DOB occupancy. That's a landlord decided issue. However, I would be amenable to saying that we limit our occupancy to 75.
That's fine.
Not 75, has to be less than 75 because the
74.
Department of Buildings
I apologize.
constitutes 75 or more is a large venue. So we have extra stipulation for that.
He needs
Can I-
72.
What are the extra stipulations that I would? have
Yes,
to
and
adhere to?
wouldn't those stipulations have been applicable in 2021? So aren't they already
Not
subject to
necessarily
those?
not necessarily because over the past year or so, probably, we've been amending, through a working group that we had going at the board, we've been amending and then finally deciding what those items were going to be that we were going to require as part of large venue stipulations. And then
Can you share what
ultimately
those
voted
are
on them.
so that
So
I
it's
could?
possible that they were not in effect at the time you were here before. Very
Could
possible.
you share what
Can
the
we
stipulations
understand
are,
what
please?
those additional stipulations
Ed,
are?
can you
Patricia or Patricia Barris?
pull up the other document with the additional stipulations?
Sure, give me one moment.
Thank you.
And you are going to, you said you were going to,
It recovered by
in
about
taking the
Yes, that's-
limits in consideration, will you reduce your occupancy to what number?
Well, I was
He's
gonna
not sure yet.
see the stipulations,
yeah.
what those would be, so as to not have to make any changes if it's not required.
They involve things like security and, particulars regarding garbage pickup and stuff like that.
Yeah, in terms of special events are limited to 75, it says 75 people. Can we, in the interest of time, can we have you read this and get back to us and let us know, and we will,
Have a full board.
and we will put this forward at full board because we need to move on. And this is a lot for you to read, and I don't want you to just have to run through this and make a decision right now. You need to look at it and get back to us and let us know whether you decided to go with the 75 or 70
We
before.
can take a vote at committee still
Yeah,
with that, yeah.
right.
in mind.
Take this vote and then we'll bring it to the full board, which will be meeting on the 20th or 21st of this month. So get back to us within the next couple of days after you've had a chance to read this and to digest it and make a decision, and we'll write our resolution based on that.
Okay.
Is that okay? How does that sound?
I believe that makes sense. Does effectively, if we elect one solution or the other, then you would vote in support.
We're going to take a vote now
We're
Okay.
going to take a vote now. It just depends on how we write
to
our.
see whether or not we generally support it,
I
which
got
it
it.
sounds like we do. So, but we'll confirm that. And then,
Then we'll
as
we'll review.
Francis said, at the full board, or by the full board, you will have informed us as to whether or not you want to be a large venue or a regular size venue.
Understood.
Right, and we'll know how to proceed with the resolution. Okay?
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Can we get a call the question here? You have to be very specific what you're voting on now. So
Okay.
if you're assuming that he will say yes to the large venue agreements, you vote based on that. Right? If he does not, then he comes back, you can make amendments based on what he does not agree with. Because if his DOB says 75, it's kind of
Yes.
that's where you are.
We're voting right now
Oh.
as to whether or not we support extending the hours 7 days a week. And he's relinquished the other part about the music, right? So we're just voting on hours. So
Hours
yeah.
and also whether he would be permitted to add the TV monitor screens, no live music, but to add those
Okay.
screens.
Yeah.
Okay, so the vote now is on the hours and adding monitors. And basically our support in general. And the only difference would be if he's going to be a large venue, then he comes to us and says he agrees additionally to these other stipulations. Otherwise, it's just the standard stipulations.
Thank
Right.
you.
Okay. Call the question.
Second.
A second.
Any abstentions, recusals?
No votes.
No votes.
So it passes committee unanimously.
Okay.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. We appreciate your attention.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you,
Have a good night.
Good
You
at
too.
this.
All right, Francis, Joel, unfortunately, I have another Zoom meeting I have to attend, Hanover Square, so I gotta leave you.
And this,
Wait, will we have enough people if he leaves?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, we will. We still meet quorum.
Okay, good night, Joel.
All right,
It's,
thank you.
it's Darren here. I'm fading too. Might need to leave in a little while. I'm happy to stick around for one more vote. As long as it's not as long as this last one. So are we gonna lose if I?
well, I don't know, because it's what, the next one is it,
The next one is the last one,
is Pier
which was
15.
Pier 15. We're coming back to Pier 15. For whoever is here for Pier 15, can you please raise your hand so that I can move you over? Thank you very much.
Darren, the last one beyond this is not a vote, it's just informational. So you don't have to have your camera on, but I do suggest anyone who's here and listens.
Will do. Thank you.
Joseph, you can go ahead.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so for everyone that was here last month, we appeared last month to talk about this alteration. The alteration is really turning the inside stand-up bar into a service bar and moving a stand-up bar outside. There was some discussion towards the end of our conversation last month where the board requested that we provide some information with respect to the bathroom usage, when it's opened, what's available, as well as a plan to how we are going to take care of an issue with sound with respect to the speakers and how we might be able to orient them in a different way or limit the sound. We provided that information to the board. We're back here, I suppose, to talk more about it. I can tell you that after speaking with my client about the bathrooms, Pat brought up that the Maritime Pavilion closes at 6 p.m. and we were all sort of confused as to how people can possibly go to the bathroom if the bathrooms are closed at 6 p.m. when this place is open till 2 a.m. After speaking to my client, they indicated that while the public entrance to the bathroom does close at 6 p.m., there is an entrance to the bathrooms from their facility that remains open at all times that this space is open. It's got 2 stalls. They maintain it, they clean it, they keep it open, and it's available for all of their patrons.
That's very interesting.
What's the location of the bathroom?
Those two bathrooms are on the pier there, right?
Correct, the lower
Kara
level.
has her hand up.
Okay. Go ahead, Tammy.
I just need you to be crystal clear with me, sir.
Sure.
The public restrooms
Yes.
are open until the public access to those bathrooms closes at what hour?
So the public restrooms, the restrooms we're talking about here, there are no additional restrooms that are part of this premise. The
Correct.
people who operate this premise have access to and the ability for their patrons to utilize the public restrooms at all hours that they're open.
But
That
you
wasn't
didn't
my
answer the
question, sir. My question, sir, is very specifically, they
Okay.
are a shared bathroom. At what time does the access for the public, not at your restaurant, but the general public close? You said that they have the public access is a separate entrance.
There's a different entrance, but as far as I'm aware, the public can use those public restrooms at all hours that they are open. What I'm saying is there are multiple ways to get to the restrooms, what was explained to me, and they maintain an entrance that is open at all times that their premise is open.
No, he's not. This is
You're not answering my question.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't understand your question.
Okay. My question is this. I'm a guest at, I go on a boat trip on Pier 17. I come off said boat. there are no public restrooms available at Pier 17. So I get sent to Pier 15 where there are public restrooms, which are the ones that are managed by your client.
Yes.
I am told by the operators at Pier 17, by the way, that they provide products to support the bathrooms over at Pier 17. However, the bathrooms are not available after a certain hour to the public. So the public entrance side of those bathrooms is closed. So I am asking, I'm a general member of the public. I don't know that I can go into your restaurant to then cut through to go back to a bathroom. Would the public side to the entrance to the restrooms be open during the entirety that your client's operation is open?
The public side of the building is not ours to maintain. We can't control what time it opens and closes. I can tell you, though, that members of the public are welcome to come through our space to utilize the public restrooms
Still not
at all
answering the
times
question.
that they're.
Right.
Well, I
Answer
am
the
open
question is
answering the
no.
question.
You said
The answer to
before
the
the public thing closes at 6 p.m. That's what you had said earlier, and so I don't know why you're dancing around that.
No, I'm not dancing around anything. What I'm saying is we don't control the public entrance of the Maritime building.
She didn't ask
We
you
don't
that.
control when that door opens and closes.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
There are public bathrooms on South Street.
Yes.
That's where the public bathrooms are.
Yes.
Okay, on the Pier 15, underneath, when you walk underneath, I know there is a door that has an entrance and there are 2 stalls in there. And I used them before.
Correct.
When they first opened, and it was where the hornblower, those were the only bathrooms before they opened the ones on South Street, before they finished that. Okay. Now, you're saying that your bathrooms are the ones that are on the pier, on Pier 15 and South Street?
No, I'm telling you that our bathrooms that we have access to our space that are open till 2 a.m. when the premise is open are those bathrooms on the lower level on the diagram that you can access from our space.
Lower level on the diagram. I don't remember seeing that.
We had provided an elevation diagram in addition to the diagrams that are on the screen right now.
So when you say the lower level, there's kind of like there's a sitting area there, and it's closer to the entrance of Pier 15, right? Because there's some office space there, and that's where Hornblower used to have their stuff, and there was some other stuff going on there, but there was a lot of space there. And in that space in the front, in the beginning, before you even get to the watermark, there is an entrance and a place for those 2. And those are the only, besides those 2, and those 2 bathrooms weren't open to the public. And those are the only bathrooms on Pier 15.
Those are the only bathrooms, and those are the bathrooms that we have access to and we maintain and keep open at all times that we're open.
Okay, so those are your bathrooms, but that was never made clear. You know, I think people don't understand where those. I've been there. I've been to those bathrooms. I know where they are, and I think the committee is trying to understand in terms of the public bath, because we were given information that the public bathrooms on South Street were also being used by Watermark, and that they were being maintained, and there was by Watermark.
Well, it's possible that they're maintaining additional facilities. I know they work pretty closely with the EDC, and they go above and beyond to do some other things down there that are not part of the premise. So it's very possible they are maintaining others, but those are the bathrooms in question. Those are the ones that have been authorized for use, and those are the ones that our patrons use.
Yeah, and those are the official. Okay, see, this was never. I mean, because I've experienced those other 2 bathrooms, in all your presentations, that was never made clear. Because I understand that. I've been there.
again, just to be clear, the application before you is for an alteration with respect to a bar outside for a space that's been operational for 9 years. And I didn't do the original license application, so I can't speak to what was originally presented to the board 9 years ago.
Because that, in terms of the whole bathroom issue, because that was brought up then and it wasn't made clear. And at that point, you indicated, see, there are only 2 for this facility located in the front. Right.
I have a question for clarification.
Go ahead.
So you're referring to your patrons. You're saying the bathroom is open for use for your patrons. Is it also open for use for somebody else on the pier if they enter the restaurant and say, can I use the bathroom? Will they be allowed to?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a key. It's easy. It's not open accessible. You know, more than likely the person who's going to use those bathrooms will have to either have some sort of key to get in. But the public bathrooms, the ones on South Street, I'm still not clear in terms of how they fit in and what their hours of
Can I
open.
make a suggestion? Why do we need those information? I mean, what is the point right now? If the public can access the bathroom to their premises and they have the access to the bathroom, I mean, and it's on the document, should we go ahead and vote whether to extend the hour or not?
No, we're not asking for an extension of hours. We're just asking to move a bar. That's all.
Well,
this
yes,
application is.
Oh yeah, to move the bar. I'm
yes,
sorry,
you-
I got.
No, well, and that's something I'd like to discuss with the committee because it's my feeling that, you know, when you got approval for those hours, it was for a different capacity. You are upping the ante a few hundred more people, okay, and you're asking for the same amount of time. So I
Well-
want the committee to be able to look at that and make a decision based on how they feel about that.
I mean, that's fine, but with respect, that it's been like that for a while through the open restaurants program, with the liquor authority is not allowing us to necessarily do an alteration to reflect because it's a temporary program, which is why it was not, you know, a bigger part of this presentation.
Understand? What do you mean? I mean, because the hours.
No
yeah,
offense, sir, but the temporary program is exactly as it's stated. It was temporary. It was based on emergency orders.
Correct.
Now, so we're going through the proper process that the community
Yeah.
is supposed to go through.
I appreciate that. What I'm saying though is that when this temporary program ends, there's going to be a new program made available or whatever it's going to be, and then there will be some work to do if we're going to incorporate or even be able to incorporate any of those seats. At this point, the liquor authority is not accepting alterations to add seats that are reflected by a temporary program because it is by definition temporary.
You understand what Francis is saying, right? If your bar is going to be outside, you're going to have 300 people outside that weren't there before. There's going to be increased noise, and there are people that live in the seaport.
Well, I appreciate that, but the 300 people that, you know, we're proposing to have outside have been outside now for a while. We're just
Oh, they
saying we want to
haven't.
move the bar from inside to outside.
Well, then that means you've been overloading your
They've been
space.
inside for a while, and now they're going to be outside.
No, that's
Or
not
less
true. It's not true. They've been operating using the open restaurants program with a number of people outside. Inside, there were 17 seats at a bar. That's what it was inside. That's what we're moving outside.
So you moved your full capacity out.
The full capacity was always outside. Inside was very small capacity.
I still think that you're asking for 200 more people.
Again, the application before you is an alteration to move a bar. That's it.
But in that alteration becomes other factors in terms of occupancy. It also affects hours. It affects the whole picture. We can't just look at it in terms of.
I understand. You guys have to go through this and do this analysis, however you'd like to do it. All I can say is that this operator's been here for 9 years with a complaint-free history until we heard some people last month about some newly developed noise on the water and things like that. And my clients have indicated that they're happy to address that by reorienting the speakers, employing a sound limiter, things like that. And again, this is on the pier over the water. It's not on a residential side street or something like that.
Will the music be outside with the people?
Yeah.
Yes, as it exists right now.
Committee?
I don't know, unless I'm
No, I think we
misunderstanding something.
just take a
It
vote.
sounds as if the bar exists in a way other than it reads on paper right now. And now they want it to read on paper in the same manner which it exists in real life.
No, that's not it. The application before you is to move a bar from inside to outside. That's the alteration we're talking about. The additional seating outside is pursuant to the Open Restaurants Temporary Program, which has been existing for a while.
What would you do if the program no longer exists? What would happen to your arrangement there? Would that seating go back inside?
No, there were 17 seats inside at the bar. The seating was always majority outside. What would happen if the Open Restaurants Program ended tomorrow? There would either be a new program that would allow us to do this in a different way and permit it separately, or we could undertake to try to work something out with the EDC to see if we can get some sort of lease for that property to incorporate it into our space. Those would be our two options. But either way, we'd have to come back and see you about it because it would be a fundamental change to the liquor license. What I'm saying is
you're
sorry, go
automatically
ahead.
assuming, like in Karen's question, if the temporary program ended, you're just taking it verbatim that, well, then there'll be another program that you can go through. And I don't buy that premise.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
You just said that.
For a fact, they've indicated the Open Restaurant Program is going to end at the end of 2022. And for a fact, they said that DOT or DCA or some additional city agency is going to come out with a new outdoor seating program because the old DCA sidewalk program is dead. That is
we don't know what
it looks like
the regulations for that new
Okay,
program
that's
are.
a whole,
so we can't
that's a whole
Of
separate.
course I don't. I just said I don't know what it's going to look like.
That's a whole separate political discussion. It's a very, very loaded political discussion. There's been a lot of protest about the way in which that discussion has been,
That's true.
you know,
Karen. Yeah.
put to people. So you really have no idea what would happen. All I was trying to figure out is whether this thing was going to be reversed or whether it was not going to be reversed. That's all. I mean, we don't have to go into all the political ramifications of.
Yeah, look, I don't think anybody on this call, myself included specifically, have any idea what's going to happen with the temporary program other than right now it has an end date of 12/31/22. That's all we know, and that there's supposed to be a more permanent program that's going to succeed it, but we just don't know what it looks like yet.
That's why I don't think that I was incorrect before in my assessment. It sounds like you're trying to grandfather in this outside. So when the new program starts, you're like, well, we exist this way, and the community board voted for it. They wanted us to exist this way.
No,
So
well,
here
I'm
we
not.
are.
Again, to be clear, I'm not asking for you guys to vote on anything but a moving of a bar. And even if we had these seats pursuant to a temporary program, which we currently do, that's not going to grandfather us into anything. That program ends when it ends.
It does move you into another category in terms of which they were probably in before, the large venue, because they're adding like a whole bunch of more seats. So do you know what the criteria or the stipulations are with the large venue for the large
Which
venue?
which stipulations specifically? You mean the community board stipulations? You mean DOB stipulations, liquor authority?
Community board and DOB are the same, 75 persons or more.
It's up on the screen now.
Well, he's not familiar with it, so it means we might have to do the same thing with him that we did with the other applicant. But Tammy, you had your hand up?
But you're talking about a place of assembly for 75 persons or more inside. This is
It's
not
it's under a different qualification in terms of the way we evaluate what our work here, what we do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, just to give you an understanding, whether you're 500 people sitting inside with 4 walls, I would counter to say even on a pier, 500 people outside, aka the roof of Pier 17, definitely generates noise that travels. So while I appreciate where you're going with this, just understand where the community is coming from is trying to mitigate the opportunities that we want to support you in business and support good operators, but also need to be considerate of the public realm. So
totally understand.
We can only opine. We can put many things and are therefore be it resolved, including that we would allow this on a temporary basis under the temporary program on a trial basis only to see how it functions. That is an opportunity of what we could do because yes, the entire committee understands very clearly we are voting on moving a bar, but the cascading effects of moving it from inside to outside come with a bucket more availability for clientele, which is good for the operator. He has shown to be a good operator, but we also, I think, should take it as a brand new kind of thing because it's not just an existing movement and it may set precedent because we do not know what the new program will say. And there is nothing that says that the new program doesn't say, well, if they're already there, then that's great. Which doesn't work. And does not, we don't know any of the mechanics, any of the stipulations, we don't know anything. So I would suggest for the committee, if they are comfortable putting everything as temporary, come back to us when, with notes that the applicant would agree to that says there is no grandfathering, there's no precedenting, and that they would return, that might be a good compromise where everybody's a little bit unhappy.
Yeah, look, Tammy, what you said makes sense to me. And again, I'm not trying to do anything funny here. I believe this is a temporary program and there's not going to be any grandfathering allowed. If you want to put that in your resolution, that is fine with me. These guys have been good operators for 9 years. I don't think they're going to change course now. The first we heard of any noise issues was last month, and they took that very seriously.
False.
So, okay.
Tammy, I have a question. Rep Francis, I have a question. So the person that's speaking on behalf of the applicant, are you an attorney?
I am an attorney, yes.
Okay, so going back memory-wise, maybe you can clear something up for us. You know, as there is this somewhat in the SLA regulations that you need to have a kitchen, but you know the loose definitions of that. I recall from some years ago that there's a similar type of rule, regulation, requirement, whatever you want to call it, that there needs to be bathrooms on the premises. Can you tell me what you know about that?
Sure, I can tell you everything you want to know about it. There's a requirement to have a bathroom on the premise. The liquor authority is allowed at their discretion to allow for places to have liquor licenses if there is a reasonable accommodation for people to get to a bathroom that is reasonably close. So for instance, in this particular place, there are no bathrooms on the actual premise. However, there are public restrooms that my clients have a duty to maintain and keep open at all hours of their operation. That was provided to the liquor authority and it was approved by the liquor authority. You see a similar setup with food halls, with places that are outside kiosks that have access to public restrooms, things like that. All the liquor authority requires is a representation that you have access to the space, Your customers will have access to the space, and it'll be maintained at all hours of operation that the space is open, and something from a landlord or whoever is in charge of the property that corroborates that.
So when they go to the bathroom, they're not allowed to bring their alcohol with them.
It is not part of the licensed premise. That's correct.
So it's not within the bounds of the premises.
Correct.
Reasonable. Well, there's some ambiguity here, but.
Mark, I'm not surprised because it's like a food hall. You're not supposed to bring your drinks into a food hall bathroom either.
Okay, so where are we?
Well, I think Tammy,
Tammy's temporary suggestion sounded
basically
good.
surmised what I was trying to get at. So I'm fine with list whereas as she suggested, and then maybe also noting that patrons or people, the members of the public on the pier, they need to use the bathroom, will not be required to patronize the restaurant in order to use them. Should they ask? Put that in there.
It might be nice because most people wouldn't assume that. It might be nice if something could be posted. I don't know whose responsibility would be that, bathrooms are available to the public, but the entrance is through the location. Because like if I wouldn't assume that I could go in there without being a patron. So it might be nice to have some type of posting on the pier.
That's so, that does not, I'm having real issues with this because.
Okay, then I'll stop. Okay, no problem.
No. I know the area, I know the situation, and there's only 2 bathrooms, and if everybody knows Pier 15, there's a lot of foot traffic. So we're talking foot traffic for upstairs for people to hang out. There's foot traffic for the boats that leave there, and then there's foot traffic for the restaurant, and then there's the foot traffic that goes up and down South Street. There has always been a tremendous line for those 2 bathrooms that are located there. 2.
I retract my statement.
I think somebody that needs to go is likely to run into an establishment and ask, "Can I use your bathroom?" And in the case of this place, they'll be told yes.
Okay.
Is what it sounds like.
But Mariama, there's only 2 bathrooms, and we're talking lots of people.
I'm saying I wouldn't publicize it. I mean, I understand why Mitch is suggesting that, but I wouldn't publicize it. I think that people go into a place and they say, "Can I use your bathroom?" I mean, I've done it.
Okay, no problem. I retract that.
Because that public bathroom was opened up afterwards. Because the first time when they opened and they had those 2 bathrooms, I said, "Wow, this is really going to be a mess." And then shortly after that, they opened up the public area on South Street.
We can move on. Sorry. Thank you.
So
sorry, it was worth working through and figuring out.
Yeah. I see David Sheldon. You have your hand up. Is he one of the applicants?
I'm a non-public member of the board. We're attending.
Sorry. Yes, David. Sorry. Just so
am I permitted to speak at this point?
Absolutely.
Okay, I would wonder if we can add to the various contingent whereases the issue of noise emanating from this facility on the pier. It is not on a residential street. However, anyone during temperate season who wishes to go for a quiet walk on Pier 16 is not going to have one because of the noise coming from across the shipping berth from this bar. This issue has been raised here. It was raised here before this board more than a month ago, several years ago, when this establishment was first operating, and without result. And I'm speaking here I'm speaking for myself, not for Savoy Seaport, certainly not for the South Street Seaport Museum. As a sailor on the museum's vessel Pioneer, I can tell you, docking that vessel is done by sign language because we cannot hear ourselves think the music coming from Pier 15. And that is a serious issue.
Yeah,
And I
that was
hope it can
raised
be
before.
addressed.
That was raised before, that it makes navigation risky.
Yeah,
That was
David,
raised before.
if I can address that, David, I'm sorry that this has been brought up years ago. Again, my involvement here in this was really just with respect to this application. And last month we heard about the noise issues, and I immediately called my client following the meeting and I asked if they've had any noise complaints, how they're dealing with it, how they're managing it, and they said that they hadn't. So I told them that I was at the meeting and we heard some complaints and what the issues were. And they immediately said, no problem. We'll install limiters. We'll reorient our speakers. We will do what we can to minimize what kind of sound leaves the pier. So they're aware of it, and they said they're happy to address it and continue to address it on a moving forward basis to make sure they get it right.
That's very encouraging. Can we see that reflected in this committee's resolution?
Absolutely. Happy to stipulate to it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So the client is agreeing to adjust the sound mitigation for noise. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm with this bathroom stuff.
So can we call the question or no?
No, wait. I just want to make sure that in the whereases that the client that we can include that the client has stated that there are 2 bathrooms on, be very specific.
Sure. I think we have to. We have to say there's 2 bathrooms that do not require one to be a patron of the restaurant to use. They have to just simply ask, I think we have to say that, but I wouldn't, again, I would not advertise. It's up to them, it's their business, but I wouldn't advertise, hey, come in here to use the bathroom, because as you said, there's only 2 and it would be overwhelming.
Okay, so in addition to the public bathroom access, there are 2 other bathrooms that the client has access to, the patrons who have access to that.
But he said you need not be a patron, so I think that should be in there. Because the Seaport at large, it's not their responsibility, but Seaport at large has to provide bathrooms. So I think that we can note that here's 2 that people are allowed to use should they need to.
Yeah, if you want to say that we maintain those public restrooms at all hours of operation, or however you want to word it, to make it clear that those are public restrooms that we maintain and we keep open later than the Maritime Building would keep them open otherwise. Or something like that.
The 2 additional bathrooms.
Correct.
Right.
That's a great idea.
If anybody remembers, since the size of this establishment is quite large, did they sign a large venue stip?
No, now was it always a large venue? They did this before we got this.
Yeah.
Number 1. Number 2, and now that they're adding all of these other seats, it does fall into that category.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to review that, and we would ask you to do the same thing we asked the other person to do, is to get a chance to read over it, sign it, and send it back to us so that we can present this to the full board.
Yeah, this space has always been a large venue, by the way. The seat count was always over 74, even before the additional.
But I don't think we had that large venue stip.
We haven't had you before us.
Before us. So now
implementing that.
Now that you're asking for this, and it is an additional seating issue, we have to ask you to. We're asking you to look at that as well. Okay, so we want you to look at that and get it back to us, and in the process, we'll be doing our resolution to include all of these temporary whereases and the fact that we will have received your signed large venue stipulation back, and we will be able to include that as well.
Does the Seaport, I'm presuming the answer is going to be yes. The Seaport Security provide security to your location as well over there on Pier 15?
I mean, the
Or do you have to
Seaport,
provide more?
they just do their normal, security. We have our own security when it's necessary, as well as additional staff members to maintain safety.
Okay, well, those are the kinds of things that you'll find in the large venue stipulations, requirements for security and such. Okay.
Yep, we have all that. Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Is there anything else on this committee?
I don't believe so.
See any other hands up? Oh, do we have enough people to? Oh, we don't need to vote on, well, kind of.
Well, we do, we got to make a motion to approve or support, recommend that they be allowed to move their bar,
Right.
given the stipulations that we were all agreeing to.
The same as the previous one we voted on.
Right.
Yeah.
And unless you're gonna get that information to them, and then as soon as we get that back, we can attach it and keep moving, right, Tammy?
Yeah, we can. Joel fell off. He's on his way right back.
Okay.
So you just got to give him a second to come back. We can vote when he's back, unless Mark has an ability to turn his camera on.
Ooh.
Oh, doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work? You just don't want us to see your purty face, that's all.
Darren's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, Darren is unwell.
Oh.
So, he came as a favor because we asked him, but he's home sick. So
Oh, no.
yeah, Joel is coming back, so I would just need him to log on for a moment. Okay.
Okay. And then after we finish with this, then we go into the presentation, Tam?
Exactly.
Okay.
Are we going to be voting on that presentation?
No.
No, it's an initial presentation for them to get community feedback and hear the things that they will need for when they come back in January for a vote.
Okay. So if I have to get off, so that won't be a problem for you.
I need you to stay on now until
All
Joel
right.
gets back in, because
Okay.
otherwise we lose quorum completely.
All right.
Chow, you need to turn your camera on too.
Yeah, one more vote.
What happened to Bernard? Bernard he left us?
I hope not.
I don't see him.
I'll call him. I'm with you on that one.
People, it's 8:09.
Yep, and we could be done so much faster if people wouldn't do this.
This is early for licensing. Why are people gone?
I think it's the holiday season. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, it may be early, but it's intense.
See, they had enough.
Yeah, right? This is a lot of stuff.
No comment.
Come on, Joe. Joel Bernard. But didn't Joel have to leave at 7:30? Didn't he have something?
He had another meeting, but I think that's Zoom also. Maybe you can pop back on this Zoom and then pop back on that Zoom.
Oh, here,
afterwards.
he's coming.
He's here.
As soon as he's in, all cameras on, let's get the vote going and we go from there. For Mark, I'd be happy to send you a camera courtesy of the office.
Well, is it a phone with a camera or a camera?
Whatever Mark has, we can get him one that'll work with it, so I'm not really worried, and he can follow up with Onesh.
Well, do you don't have a computer that has a camera?
It's not our business. Whatever
Yeah,
he's
this
got,
is true. This is
and
true.
make it work for him.
Back off.
There you go. All right, Joel. Uh-oh.
What happened?
We just lost him. I think he's gonna try to rejoin again.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, we go. Come on. Here we are.
All right, I'm here.
All right, call the question.
Call the question.
Joel, do you have camera capability?
My camera's on.
Okay, great.
Call the question.
I second it.
Okay, all those abstentions, recusals, abstentions, recusals, noes.
Motion passes.
Seeing none, motion passes. We move right along. Thank you, Mr. Levy.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You
too.
Thank you, Joel, for
Oh,
coming
don't
back
forget to read that large venue stuff and get it back to us so that we can do what we need to do at the board meeting. I hope you heard.
All right, let's get rolling. Last one of the night.
Okay, let me just move them over. Ian, I'm gonna be moving you over now. And
While you can I talk while you're doing that?
Sure, go ahead.
Because Tammy, Mark and I were talking earlier, and actually Susan and I were talking. This committee, we need to have a meeting, and we need to go over a lot of stuff in terms of the forms and stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that's missing, and I think that these
let's take internal discussions off the plate now. Let's have the applicant present, and then we can certainly do a conversation with Mark, Susan, you, Onej, Lucian, and I before full board and see what we need to do to clean up. No problem at all. The only reason why I interrupt, and I apologize, Francis, is you're going to lose me too in about 9 minutes.
Okay. But you got the question, though. That's all. That was a question. Okay.
Okay, Ian, you can go ahead. Or Matt. Nick?
Sure. I'll kick us off. Hi, everybody. My name is Matt Vigiano. I'm a vice president on the real estate team at Kassir, and I'm here today with Water Street Associates. I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues and the team. Our team executive, Ian Nicholson, is going to walk us through a presentation for the committee. We're here tonight. We're very eager to hear your feedback and answer your questions as we have already started engagement, but we are very much excited to get the committee's perception and like I said, feedback on our application. We're here tonight to present on phases 1 through 4 of a project, which as once Ian starts sharing his screen, you'll see a little bit more about what we're trying to activate on Water and Fletcher Street.
Just one quick question. I'm so sorry. Saying that I need permission to share.
Got my message, I assume.
Screen sharing.
I just gave you permission. Can you try again?
Yeah, sure.
And Matt, just so you're very clear, what was presented to us is that this is a dialogue. There'll be no votes taken. This is an exchange of information and ideas. In a
Yes,
public
we're
session.
very excited for that.
I'm surprised to see you, but
hi.
It says we can't display. Okay, I got it now. Let's see. I'll try it again. It says we can't display your shared content. Make sure that you've allowed permission to share content and then try again.
Yeah, I know.
That's strange. I already gave you permission.
It goes on and off and on.
Let me try it again.
Karen, mute. Oh, she did.
Small, it was, down in Jersey someplace.
Karen, mute yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm having a hard time getting this to display. Anybody have any ideas here?
do you want to send the link to Onej and she can bring it up?
Sure.
Is there a verbal portion of the presentation we can do in the meantime? Or is the whole thing visual?
Is it the same that you sent earlier today?
No, there's it's been updated. One moment, please.
No.
I could tell a story, Mariama, if you want.
Yeah, did you say? Because I mean, I have it on my iPad. I'm looking at.
Okay, let me try it again here.
PDF on my iPad.
Let me try this again. I'll share the screen.
I had another bad day at the radiologist.
Karen, mute yourself.
Hold on.
Okay, so who should I send this to? Matt, do you have, is there any way that you can send it to?
You can send it to me. Just email me.
Our apologies for that.
I only have the excerpt. Looking for. Or Keaton, if you want to forward it to me, I can forward it to Onej. Or
you have it. I send it to you via text.
That was the excerpt, I think.
No, that's the fine. That's no. The before it. There's another one beforehand.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Fixing this now. I got it. Onez, I just forwarded it to you. It should arrive momentarily. I'm trying another way too.
Ian, would you like to try sharing again?
Yep.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody.
My apologies as well.
Yeah, it's giving me the
Not sure
same.
what's the issue.
Well, Ian, you're rocking because we can see your face. So try again.
Yeah, nothing's come through yet. See if I can think that. Yes. Any change in your end, Ian? I tried giving you privileges again. Or Matt, if you'd like to share instead, just let me know.
I'm trying to pull the latest version. Sorry, one more minute. Okay. If you want to give, I just have the right.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
No, I have screen share. I'm trying to open the presentation now. Here we go. Everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Great, thank you so much. We wanted to introduce the former IAG building as the new Wall Street Associates building, the WSA building. We're giving it a new address as well, 161 to 169 Water Street, as we are proposing to develop this building, creating separate entrances as well for the different uses along Water Street, John Street, and activating Fletcher Street as well. Can we go to the next page? We wanted to talk to you about who we are a little bit. 99C is the owner and developer of the property. Our mandate is to invest in adaptive reuse projects, and we currently have $2 billion in active assets, 25 and plus active assets, and about 4 million square feet of real estate in New York alone. And between New York and Brooklyn, we have 1 million square feet here in the city. And we collaborate with world-class designers and architects to prioritize design, sustainability, and positive community impact. We really are about community making and placemaking. Environmental, social, corporate governance, from acquisition to leasing, we're committed to practices grounded in sustainability, diversity, inclusion, and integrity. And our key focus in our community building is in the worlds of fashion, arts, culture, and technology. We have an acronym. If you take the first letters, we call it FACT. And we're really looking with this project to create a cultural hub in New York for the creative classes and create the spaces for small to medium companies to be able to conduct business affordably, create content, sell their wares, entertain and host business in a manner that hasn't been done before in New York. And our properties feature enhanced spaces with a variety of state-of-the-art technology, including recording studios, conference spaces, meditation spaces, photo studios, artist residencies, and test kitchens. And these are some of the images from some of our spaces. And the hospitality arm of our company is called Happier Hospitality. We really believe in integrity, versatility, welcoming hospitality, and a passion for service. That's what we're all about. And you can read the hows, the whats, our team, the culture. We're very culture driven. We're very service and customer driven. We're very employee driven. And we want to be known for the quality of our production, the quality of our services, amenities, and food as we develop this project. Just for reference, the building's bordered, it's on Water Street, bordered by John, Fletcher, and Front Streets in the Seaport District. And we want to walk you through the project program. As the former address of 175 Water Street, the former AIG building, we're renaming it the WSA building. It's 32 stories with over 700,000 square feet of space. And what we're looking to do there is design it for a work play situation, including exhibit space, event space, and production facilities, and bespoke lifestyle offering for the workers, for the workers and for the guests visiting the spaces, including co-working, restaurants, retail spaces, arts, and gallery exhibition space. As we said before, placemaking is really important for us, and we'll be using this acronym a lot. FACT, fashion, arts, and cultural professionals who use technology to shape our world. Again, programming objectives. We want to have a very diverse offering to enrich the lives of our community, and we believe that the content and assortment of creative spaces will provide a launchpad for the next generation of creators through all the amenities and the programming in the building. This is really important. We wanted to kind of talk about the reusing of the space, the 700,000 square feet of programming. We have about 339 square feet of office and workspace, which accounts for 48% of the space in the building, and then 21% of additional spaces, which are creative studios and art galleries. So 69% of the building, almost 70% of the building will retain its original use as office and workspaces, while the remaining programming will emphasis on 7%, 48,000 square feet of retail, 7% or 48,000 square feet of wellness spread over 2 to 3 floors, and 16%, 115,000 square feet of members, community, lounge, workspaces, offices, and meeting rooms. So this just gives you a sense of the use of the building. It'll be broken up into public event spaces, public photo studios, member screening rooms, public gallery and event spaces, lounges, workspaces, meeting rooms, private hire offices, virtual reality studios, recording studios, podcast studios, artist studios, community reception areas. We'll have a 4-floor retail, public retail experience on John Street, public restaurants, kids daycare for the working community there. So parents that are actually working in the building can leave their kids there and not worry about daycare. It's important. And we'll have community wellness, spa, fitness, a rooftop garden and pool, community dining spaces. And that's the general program in terms of how we're repurposing the building. And then we just wanted to talk to you about a little bit about the phasing. This is a 2-year rollout. And we've got 6 opening phases, and each of the colors at the end of the blocks represent an opening phase. So the first phase opens in March, and it pretty much follows sequentially through August 2023. And then that's pretty much the lower half of the building, with from the first floor through the 19th floor, and then from the 20th floor to the 31st floor will be opening from January through July/August of 2024. So our last opening will be in July, not in August. We actually are gaining some time here. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about the phasing, and you'll see that most of the floors that we're opening up are really going to be a lot of the offices, a lot of the lounge spaces in terms of the co-working spaces and the events and gallery spaces. So in March, we're looking to open up one at the lounge floor, which is the workspace on 10, a pop-up cafe on the 15th, which is a residency kitchen and a test kitchen, some of the small offices, a canteen on the 16th floor, which will service all the employees of the building, and some of the banquet space on 16. The next slide illustrates what opens up in April, which will be 2 floors, the 5th and 6th floor of gallery space, which will have curated events every quarter to the public. And then in May, we'll be opening up the artist studios, a floor of artist studios, medium creative offices, storage space for the offices, and then our meetings and conference center on the 17th and 18th floors. And then finally in August, we'll be opening up additional creative office spaces on the 8th floor. We'll be opening up the wellness center and the kids play on the 11th and 12th floor. We have a fine dining restaurant that's open for breakfast and lunch, which is a nod to the Power Breakfast and Power Lunch scene of 80s Wall Street. We'll be opening up the recording studio on 19th and some of the medium and larger offices on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd floors. And the lobby cafe, sorry, go back in the lobby cafe, we'll have a grab and go on the lobby in the ground floor area. And then the final next stage is phase 5. We'll be opening up the balance of the wellness center on the 14th floor, 2 additional floors of offices. And the bulk of the openings will be in the summer of 2024. The next slide, phase 6, which will be all the retail spaces on the ground floor, additional gallery spaces on the 2nd floor, the department store that runs from the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor, medium creative offices and small creative offices on the 11th and 19th floors, the additional offices on the last 3 floors, and then the members' workspaces, lounge, and dining rooms and event space at the top of the building. For the liquor license application timelines, we are planning to go in front of the board in January to apply for the liquor licenses for phases 1 through 4. And then we will be back for the 2nd phase in September for phases 5 and 6. And that will be for the last 2 phases of the floors that you just saw. And we will be going in front again of the community in front of July, not in August as this shows right now. We actually changed that because of the timelines. So this just gives you a general idea of how we're planning and proposing for your feedback to do this. Next slide.
So maybe I can jump in here and talk a little bit about that. Over the course of the rest of this month and into January, we'll be meeting with neighborhood stakeholders. We feel that there's a lot of vibrant uses here that will be really attractive to neighborhood residents. We're planning to meet with the FIDI Neighborhood Association, Southbridge Towers, the Seaport community, our neighbors across the street at 200 Water Street. Really anybody who has an interest in our application and really the number of, I would say, really dynamic uses that are going to be assembled at 161-169 Water Street. So this is to give a sense of our engagement timeline. Again, we're already meeting with folks. We've reached out to quite a number of Lower Manhattan stakeholders, and we're really excited to really walk everybody through the vision for the space. Sorry?
What Lower Manhattan stakeholder?
Right. So I mentioned that a moment ago. FIDI Neighborhood Association, Hanover Square residents, Southbridge Towers, 200 Water Street, which is right across the street from us, is a rental building where we're going to be reaching out to their management company in the hopes of meeting with some of the tenants there, as well as the Seaport neighborhood, including the Peck Slip School, Parent Teacher Association, school leadership team. We really want to try to meet with all of our neighbors to get them excited about the project. There are a number of new uses that I think I've heard the community talking about and wanting in this area for quite some time. We've also met with civic organizations. We'll be meeting with civic organizations like the Downtown Alliance, Performing Arts Center. I mean, all of anybody that we, have identified either through our own conversations, knowledge of Lower Manhattan, or anybody we hear about tonight that we haven't mentioned or thought of. Happy to take suggestions.
Yeah. Question, how is this being funded?
This is all privately funded through 99C LLC. And we've done this once before in London. We have a case study that we'll show you of the exact same sort of concept that actually rolled out and was developed quite successfully in the financial district in London with a similar style building, with a similar program as well.
We can dive into a little bit of that now because we have some existing projects we can describe for the team. So I'll turn it back over to Ian.
So we currently have about 4 different sites in Brooklyn, 99 Scott, which is the site that you're seeing there, which is an event space. And we're developing 3 other sites there at 53 Scott and 154 Scott and 25 Stewart, which will be a combination of event space. We have artist studios there. We have a bodega that we're operating there right now. And we'll have additional event spaces and member workspaces that will be opening up in tandem with what we're doing in Manhattan. Next page, please. In London, we've successfully repositioned 2 historic buildings, 1 million square feet of mixed use at Gillette Corner, the former Gillette headquarters in London. And then the Strand, 180 the Strand in London, which is the most comparable example of what we're doing here. It's a 70s designed former headquarter of Arthur Andersen, and then another accounting finance company that went bust in the 90s in the financial district in London on the Strand. And our company programmed, redeveloped, repositioned this building as the cultural arts hub of London very successfully. And as a case study, we'll show you the next page, and we'll give you the link so you can see this. But 180 the Strand. This illustrates on the website, as you can see, all the facilities that are currently available there that mimic what we'll be doing there. We are the landlord there, and we're the developer, and so we hired Soho House to run the members club. They brought in the members club there. They brought in Soho Works to run the work component of it, and we curated a series of restaurants and a big retail component there, plus all the production facilities and higher spaces that we're proposing to do here. So this gives you a little bit of a background to the fact that we've de-risked this, we've done it successfully, and it's become a proven quotient in the City of London. Next page. And again, you see the kind of exhibits that we've done there. We have same kind of programming in terms of very intensive programming for content creation, community building, dining, wellness. Soho House opened their co-working facility there, and they will open their largest club there. Next page. And we've got a 2-star Michelin restaurant that's moving in there right now. The Queen actually made her appearance at London Fashion Week with Anna Wintour, the last one of her last appearances at 180 the Strand, which just talks to the quality levels of the programming and the content curation that we've created there. And then the project team, we've assembled the best in class team to help us develop this project. We're working with OMA, which is Rem Koolhaas's Office of Metropolitan Architecture from Rotterdam. They're one of the most well-known and respected architectural companies around the world. We're working with Mancini Duffy here in New York, Maruni and Company and Space Caviar, who are designing all the spaces here. Working with one of the most renowned kitchen designers in the city, Jacob Stolen Beer and singer M. Tucker, on all the kitchen designs. We're working on the engineering side with Cerami for all the acoustics, Listen for all the specialist programming and all the technical spaces, and Siska Hennessy Group on engineering. And then we've compiled a team of rockstar legal and compliance companies, including Casra, who you have here. You've got the environmental team there for sound studies, traffic studies. We've got Przetsky and Bookman representing us on the liquor license front, Damani Consulting on code consulting, and Tartakinsky and Drogan on all the entity creations. So that's the team in terms of the development here. It's a family office that's developing this. We are going to be curating all aspects of this And we are very excited about being able to create something that really hasn't been done in New York with regard to the readaptive reuse of a former office building into a really vibrant community making and placemaking art hub. So thank you very much for your attention, and we'd love to get some feedback and comments.
I have a question. It looks very nice and interesting, but I feel like I'm sitting here feeling like I'm missing something, because like an art hub, at least in my imagination, isn't something that like requires advance forewarning of we're going to apply for a license. Like, where are the licenses in these? You said galleries, you said swimming pool, you said I'm not hearing like where are we going to have to opine, because that it's not an office space, so I'm confused.
No confusion here. So we will have, we're applying for 9 different licenses across the different floors. And they're being, we're applying for them as we're opening. So for the first set of licenses, we're going to be applying for beer and wine licenses for the first phase. And then we will, once we get approval for those, we'll come back because of timing wise and apply for a change application for a full liquor. But for the most part, we've got on the co-working space initially a tavern and wine, and we'll do a change of class. We're going to propose a change of class for on tavern liquor. And again, that we're going to have co-working space. There will be dining there, and there will be 2 bars on that floor. On the 15th floor, we have a pop-up restaurant, which will be a restaurant that will have, yes.
I'm sorry. It's a lot of information to digest that's orally given. You did a very nice job of showing us where the floors are, but the devil's in the details. And I hope
yes, we have this. We can show you this.
I have a couple slides I can put up that maybe help answer that question. But go ahead, Tammy. Sorry.
Hang on. And Francis, I'm sorry if I jumped over you here. Anything that we need to know to have a robust dialogue is about transparency and engagement. And for that thing, what I'm looking for, we need to know how many people, is it public or private? What is your plan? What's the scalable thing? Are you applying for a beer and wine license for one venue? Is it shared kitchen space? Are they independent individual units? Or if we're talking about one license for one, are you stemming it to the next and sort of laddering them as they go along? Where is the actual front door for each one of the venues that you're talking to us about? Because that would be different for the 500-foot rule.
That's
no matter
right.
where in the building, if you're using 161 versus 175 versus Front Street versus, all of those make a difference. And that's kind of the detail that we're kind of looking to understand to see how the building comes together. What's happening with the Pops that's downstairs, the arcade that's downstairs, transportation plans, security plans, queuing, garbage, all of those things are going to be, you need a holistic thing to tell us about for garbage for the building, but per venue, and you need to be able to tell us all of that stuff. So I can understand.
We have a lot of that stuff in the offing. We have a lot of that stuff available now, but you've also asked for a lot of detail that I'm very happy to map it. We have a chart right now, but it doesn't address all of your questions. And I'm happy to map it out on a per floor basis, indicating all the things that you've talked about. We've got a traffic study in process right now. We've done our 500-foot application with study with our consultants. We have an indoor garbage refrigerated facility for all the chemical waste, for all the bottles, crushing, balers, all that stuff we've got. We can actually illustrate on a chart all the entrances, hours of operation, who's coming in, where and when. We can do all that. We have a lot of it. We don't have it all because I just heard what you've asked for, but we can definitely give that to you. And we are 100% about transparency with what our plans are with this building, and would respectfully, want to just make that very clear to all of you that we will give all that information to you in a nice package so that you can review it and we can work through any concerns or any issues that you may have. So yes, we're happy to prepare all that additional detail for you. We do have a chart right now, but Matt, I don't know that it addresses all her questions.
Well, and I gotta tell you, for something that's this large, in this complexity, we did a working group with Matt for a hotel that I would say is straightforward in comparison. Which, Matt, how many months was that working group?
That was about 2.5 months. I would say this is a very different set of uses. I think what we were hoping to achieve tonight was to show what the space is, the way that the different sections are being phased, and really to get feedback. So, I mean, I think this is very helpful, wanting to get more of that detail when we apply and submit all of the application materials. Like, all of that will be included, of course. Today, I think, was just to get a sense of what are the questions, and I think you've laid them out really successfully, accurately, and helpfully on how we want to show how the logistics of this building will function within the neighborhood. Oh, Ian, you're
Who's
muted.
doing your traffic study?
Equity Environmental is our traffic consultant, is our
And-
transportation consultant.
Of altogether, what is the capacity?
So you mean like what the certificate of occupancy for like each floor would?
Add it all up. How many people?
Ian, you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, we have that. 1 second. Let me just pull that up.
And so while Ian's getting that information, in terms of the quality of life aspects, we have a loading dock on Fletcher Street where we will have indoor cold storage containerized organics. We will also be utilizing glass crushers to reduce noise. We understand from previous experiences at Community Board 1 that the hours for deliveries is preferred to be between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. So we'll be working to find a carter that is able, not only a carter, but also make sure that our deliveries arrive to the building within those timeframes.
I have a couple of questions. This is as of right? You got this building and you decided this is what you're going to do with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the building is built. It's there.
I know. I live across the street. And I want to know, well, what makes you and I'm just asking the question, what makes you think we want this in the community? Did you do charrettes and whatever they're called?
Well,
to find
we did discuss this with the Alliance, and one of their goals was to obviously make downtown an arts and cultural hub in terms of a destination. And Matt, you want to sort of add to that, because they were very excited about what we were proposing here and the activations that we were proposing here and the amenities that we were looking to provide, the public amenities to the community.
So you and the Alliance decided, okay, so what about the community?
No, we didn't. Nobody decided anything. This is a programming that we felt was the highest and best use for this building, instead of making it another residential building that added nothing to the community.
But you
just because the downtown Alliance is excited about it doesn't necessarily mean that the people that live there will be.
The people
It's
that
two
live there,
different entities
you just
and
said.
two different
Fair enough.
two different points of view. I'll be kind by saying points of view.
Yeah. And then when you were talking about the different, communities, I mean, we have a whole community in the Seaport. That whole area, they have a whole life thing going on there that I see a lot of some of the things that you're going to do will impact on them. I'm curious as to what is your radius? Are you going river to river? Are you going all the way down to the Battery in terms of people that you're trying to get involved or make programs for?
Well,
Yeah,
60%. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I just, if I may, I mean, I think, you know, the team has purchased the building, right? They're going to be owning this building and are tenanting it in a way that not only activates it for office use, but brings together cultural and I would say retail uses that we're hoping will be attractive to the community. I think a lot of specifically what
You're hoping.
kinds
You
of
gotta ask though. You can't go on hope.
Well,
Anyway,
I
go
mean, I
ahead.
think the
Sorry.
idea is
Sorry.
that we're curating a space that will be attractive to neighborhood residents. I mean, any office building owner could probably do just law offices, accountants, things like that, and then you'd have an office population, which is not I would say the kind of dynamic building that the happier people at NYC wants to create.
Well, let me just say that 70% of the building is pretty much the office and office related uses, as I illustrated in that first slide. So we're actually only changing 30% of the total square footage to other uses besides office. So 70% of this will be office and meeting spaces.
Well, let me
like
let me just say this. What I would really, as a community person, what I would really, 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 really appreciate is if you put a supermarket in there.
You know, like 55 Fulton, huh?
It's one supermarket. You know how dense this area is?
Yeah.
You got
I grew up in Southbridge.
supermarket. You know, we need, you know, so it would be really nice, but
Well, listen, thank you for the feedback. I'll definitely bring that back. I mean, we're
definitely need a supermarket, you know.
I would
couple
be
more
happy to bring that
cleaners.
feedback back. And then to the gentleman who asked me the capacity right now, our occupancy is about 4,300 people for the entire building.
4,300 for the whole building?
Yes, and we have it floor by floor, so we can share that with you.
So they could be at any time that many people at once.
No, because the offices have different hours. They don't work on the weekends. You know, it depends on the time of the day. And we've already broken that out as well. So we have hours of operation for all the spaces. We've got occupancy for all those spaces as part of our traffic study. So we can provide that for you. We have done that work.
Or
The
also the liquor
individual
licenses.
restaurants requiring individual licenses, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the private clubs as well? Or the membership club, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the membership club. Yep. Again, that's
Is the
dining.
community going to get space?
And the event spaces.
Yeah.
What's the largest event space?
4,000 square feet, 4,500 square feet times 2. That's actually 10,000 square foot on a floor times 2 floors.
And that's one space that's going to be licensed?
That's
catering. Looking to have license?
That's catering, yes.
So that's
catering.
You said that's how many square feet? That's 10,000 per floor?
Sorry, it's 1 second. Let me just go back to that. I beg your pardon. It's gross is 20,000 square feet, the floor. So with a 4,000 square foot core, it's about 16,000. So those each of those gallery floors is about 16,000 square feet.
So I guess I would ask if you could go back and confirm your numbers, because the gallery floor event space at Raw at 16,000 will hold about 1,600 people, which makes me question the 4,300 per entire building. 1,600 certainly qualifies as a large venue, as you well have heard from the other applicants this evening. So you'll need to acquaint yourself with the large venue conversation. And then the only other
1,600 require additional licenses too. Over 600 need a cabaret license.
Well,
we have I show the chart just to give the committee a sense of the different types of licenses. I have that image. I can put that up on the screen.
We're calculating for egress 240 people on each of those floors. And that's come from our architects. So I can
How
verify
can you
these
be
numbers.
240 people off of 16,000 for an event?
I don't know, ma'am. I will get the answers for you.
That would be great. And then the only other thing that I would note is I am sure the Downtown Alliance is fully supportive because bringing nightlife to their catchment area is fantastic. I believe that Pier 17 is outside of their catchment area. So, you know what I mean by that. And then lessons learned. I would say Westfield did a lot of conversation in the same dialogue and manner that you are with us. Instead of input, it was presentation of what they knew would work in London before they came to the Oculus and the World Trade Center. And that hasn't worked out in the way that they had intended. So I would tell you, instead of selling out, doing a little bit more work on behalf of the developer for what community driven need and want and fun is and how it could potentially work would be very beneficial for you. There is 3 blocks away, a brand new cooking kitchen and studio that just opened up in the Tin Building. So,
but again, that's this. Our spaces are supporting the offices and the people that are actually working there. We've got a long list of people that are interested in the artist studios. We've got a long list of people that are interested in taking spaces. We've done that research. We know that there's demand for what we're proposing here. And so it's not like we're creating something out of the air that has no context.
So it's not public, it's private.
Some of it is public. Anybody that's in any of these fields that we're looking at, in any of these creative fields, can rent a space here. All the ground floor spaces, the gallery spaces, those are all public venues.
So
We're activating the ground floors of that entire building, which right now is sitting empty. We have discussed with our attorney about the POPs and how we can activate that as well, and activate the entrance to the department store, which was part of the original permission for that building. So we've looked at all these things and are continuing to look at all these things to make this work for all the constituents, for everyone involved.
So the owner of the building is the applicant on the liquor license. Is that correct?
The entities that are leasing from the owners. It's not the owner, it's the entities that are leasing the spaces.
So they're different entities for each
That's correct.
license?
That's correct.
That are unrelated to each other.
That's correct. That's correct.
So that's why you need different licenses.
That's correct, sir. And we have that illustrated on a chart we can share. But again, we've gotten feedback about, entrances, capacities, all those things that we'll have to, append to this so that it's a document that contains all of the requested information.
And just a note on the hours for the various spaces, we are drawing directly from the community board guidelines for the Seaport and Civic Center. We were looking really just to align with what the community board has requested of applicants. So we just wanted to make sure that that was clear. Any other questions?
Apologies, I'm sitting here eating chocolates with my daughter.
That's okay. But happy to answer any other questions the committee might have.
I think it'll be a curious thing to see as it develops. Certainly it does sound somewhat like trying to rebuild some of the positive things that they have going on at One World Trade, with the different amenities offered for the corporate tenants. And the most important thing for us to know when you come to us is if the creative artist space is the open workspace that you're doing a liquor license for is for said tenants of those floors, or it is public. and understanding the dichotomy and diversity of how that works, what is publicly
Yes.
accessible, what is not publicly accessible, when and how. As Matt often hears me say, the devil is in the details, and the public, and how it relates to the public.
Understood. We'll make sure that we've given that, you know, a very clear presentation the next time we come before you. So thank you for the feedback.
And then,
the idea, Francis, for the supermarket.
and I think
Yeah.
Mark and Francis would probably both tell you, and tell me if I'm wrong, guys. Come to us when you're ready with the information. Be patient. It may not be as quick as you would like it to be. But in terms of advocacy for public benefit, we do need to ensure that we get all the information.
Absolutely. And today was, you know, a first pass at this. I appreciate all the input, and we'll make an effort to be as detailed oriented and provide you as much of the information that you've requested as possible, if not all of it.
And just in case you did answer it, will there be public space for the community? Will community have public space?
Like a community room, or is that what you're thinking
Yes.
of specifically?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I understood what you were envisioning when you asked them.
Well, right now, I think the only thing that we're looking to do is activate the POPs area and make sure that that whole ground floor is activated and available to the community for use. But beyond that, no, we don't have anything else programmed in the building for community use.
And there seems like there will probably be a couple of entities within there that will require memberships.
There will be one entity that will require memberships.
That's the upper portion.
That's the upper portion. That's the upper portion.
So you can't go above floor 15 without a membership.
Or 20, floor 27 or whatever it is. Yeah.
And will that also be the exclusive rooftops that you showed?
That's going to be part of the members club.
Members, that's where the membership comes in, Tammy.
Well, no, we have two memberships. We have office membership, and then you can buy into that for another, whatever, $100 or $50.
Well, what if what if I just wanted to be a member? What if I just wanted to go to the rooftop? Would there be an option for me to get a membership?
Not just to go to the rooftop. No, you'd have to be.
Or whatever, will you provide a package of services for an individual or a family or whatever to come?
We'll have
and
different, yes,
partake?
we'll have a different layers of membership for the offices, and then all the other spaces will be add-on. So the membership club will be an add-on component, the spa will be an add-on component, private office will be an add-on component, but generally you can buy a membership that allows you to come in and work in any of the public and any of the member lounge community, what we call community areas, without a dedicated desk, and be able to use the canteen. And be
Will
able to
there
use
be a space for the community board to meet there?
Yeah,
we
but
could
that was kind of
definitely,
what
we
I
could-
asked.
we could definitely make space because there will be plenty of meeting rooms available. So yes, the answer to you is yes. We have plenty of meeting rooms
I would
available.
hope that the price range would take into consideration that this is an area with a lot of retirees who are on fixed incomes and have limited resources. So in terms of, like some of the things that we get priced out of at the Seaport and Westfield, that you take that into consideration.
We have and we will absolutely. It's
Senior
this whole
Citizen
thing-
Day.
The idea is that this place is accessible. It's not Soho House. It's not Cipriani. It's none of these things.
Okay.
Artists don't have that kind of money either.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
And then, so we will see you in January then for your first.
We will have all your requested information ready.
Yeah, that's our hope, and we'll have a very comprehensive package of materials that'll include not only our petitioning, because that's part of the application for Community Board 1, our transportation study, floor plans, all of this in very
Security
great detail.
plan,
Yep.
garbage plan, all those things we'll have for you. Public versus public versus private, all those things that you've asked us for. The entrances, loads, occupancy loads, etc.
Any future plans and designs that you have for the building, if you're changing the envelope and changing the public space and changing the pops would also be great. I know you'll have to go to DCP for those things, but
Yes.
there'll be questions that'll be asked.
Yeah, there'll be minimal changes to the overall facade. It'll only be on the top and on the ground floor where there'll be improvements.
Okay, awesome.
And then in terms of the pops, we're not enclosing that. It's really to activate the space as a more attractive area. I know that's been a concern at the board previously. Like our intention is to keep that open.
I know that our public space advocates on our board will be thrilled to hear that.
I have a couple people in mind who probably are very interested in that. Yes.
Okay. Time to go. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for
your
having us. Thank you
feedback,
for the
thank you for your
opportunity.
time. We appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Francis, are we adjourning? Can I go home now?
I guess that concludes our business for this evening at 9:06.
Well, happy holiday, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Well,
See you in the new year if I don't see you before.
Happy holidays and happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Matt. Feel better.
Thank you.
Bye.
okay, guys. Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Francis.
for
Thanks,
everyone.
Mark. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.